around you. Can you feel the force?
We're all here because we love music, right? Like, we love music. We love it so much that we are going to school to learn how to be more present with this thing called music and maybe even make a living. For me, music started off as a hobby. My mom used to play music all the time when I was a little girl. Music was playing in my house all the time, from James Brown to Funkadelic to George Clinton to Michael Jackson, George Benson, Madonna, some hip hop music. My mom listened to everything because she was really young. So she was always in the know. And she would play music, and she would play the same song over and over and over and over again. It used to annoy me sometimes because she would just play the same song over and over. She would fall in love with songs. And I just remember music making me feel something. Things that I didn't even understand. Music was able to make me feel these things at such a very young age. And so when the music teachers came around to our elementary school classes and said, "Who wants to be in the chorus?" My hand flew up. Me, I want to be in the chorus. I didn't even know what it meant to be in the chorus. Who wants to be in the band? I want to be in the band. And so I was in the chorus and in the band from the 3rd grade. I started off on the clarinet. How many clarinet players we have in here today? All right, yeah. Be proud about that clarinet, girl. Shoot, clarinet's cool. So I started off on the clarinet. I was a really serious clarinet player, too. I didn't want to play the clarinet, though. I wanted to play the saxophone, because that was the cool instrument, right? But the band teacher was like, "No, you can't play the saxophone. You got to play the clarinet." And then he lied to me and told me that, after you start on the clarinet, then I'll move you over to saxophone. And they never do. They never move you over. Does not happen. So I played the clarinet up until I was probably in middle school. And from there, I became a rapper. I started rapping. Yeah, I just started rapping. I fell in love with hip-hop music. I think the very first hip-hop tape I had was Slick Rick, The Adventures of Slick Rick. Everybody know that joint. Goody Mob was really popular. Outkast was really popular. That was one of my favorite songs to play because it was simple, but you had to be able to keep the groove. Me and you, your mama and your cousin too, rolling down the strip on Vogues, coming up slamming Cadillac doors. Goody Mob, so cool. I mean, they was talking about coming up slamming Cadillac doors with me, you, and your mama and your cousin too. With cool bass lines, right? It was like, wow, I get that. I relate to that, And my phone rang about 2 weeks later. And I pick up the phone, and this guy goes, "Is Divinity there? This is Victor Wooten." I'm like, "What? Victor Wooten? Okay. Hey, how you doing? It's Divinity." He says, "Hey, is that what you do, the rap and the bass thing? You rap and that song you did, is that what you do?" I said, "Yeah, that's what I do." He's like, "Do you make beats and different things? You have a drum machine?" I was like, "Yep, I make beats and I rap and I play bass." And he's like, "So I was thinking that you could maybe open up my show doing that." Okay. He said, "You have more songs like that, right?" I said, "Yeah, I got a lot of songs like that." You guys know I only had one song, right? That was my VI, like one song. So Victor has this technique that he does where he does a little hammer, thumb, pluck. A lot of times he does that, But for some reason that was just really odd to me, and it still is. It doesn't come natural to me to thumb, hammer, pluck. So for me, what came natural was the hammer, thumb, pluck. So I started doing that. And then I got this little triplet thing from him, because he used to do this little triplet thing. He would go down, up, and hit the strings with his index finger and his middle finger. And I thought that was cool. So I was like, okay, let's see, what can I do? Ah, that's cool. I said, okay. Some people are born to lead and others are born to follow. Some people are born to spit it, others are born to swallow. Some are born to make the rules, others are born to break it. Some people are born to dish it, others are born to take it. I was born to make this better whenever, however, never will I. Let them take me, let them make me, cause I know it's a lie. I'm a rebel when I'm writing, say we monsters inside. If you look into my eyes, what you see, the strongest weapon, me and the booth, spitting the truth. The trouble youth, they fall in the need of a parachute. All you want is loot, pollute the fruit and execute anybody if they cause a dispute. Well, you, we'll take it to the streets, cause we all bear arms. Take it to the police, you know they only spread harm. Deep in communities where the sun ain't warm. In the midst of the storm, we resist when they bomb. I'm a rebel, won't you put it to this metal, baby? It ain't no other who could bring it on this level, baby. I go to war every day with the devil, baby, cause I'm a rebel, baby. I'm a rebel, baby. Say I'm a rebel, won't you put it to this metal, baby? It ain't no other who could bring it on this level, baby. I go to war every day with the devil, baby, cause I'm a rebel, baby. I'm a rebel, baby. Say I'm a... And then I heard from a bunch of people that Beyonce was having auditions for an all-female band. And the next day, was it the next day? Maybe a few days later, there was an audition, and we had to learn Work It Out. That was the song we had to learn. So I learned the song, go to the audition. As soon as I get there, CNN is there, and they stop me. I don't know why. And they say, hey, can we follow you around during the audition? I was like, okay, yeah. They followed me around. They interviewed me. I did the whole thing. And then I got the gig. It was amazing. They took me from Atlanta to New York, played with all the girls. We all got in the room, kept coming in and out of this room playing. And then we were on the BET Awards, and that was our debut. You know, her new all-female band, which is so cool, man. It was so cool. And we got to travel all around the world. Shortly after joining the band, we started going into tours for promo tours. And I was asked to be one of the musical directors. I didn't know what that was. You know, honestly, Beyonce's being her bass player was the first time in anybody's band I was the bass player. Because before that, I was, doing my own thing. Victor had me, I was in Victor's band, but he gave me the spotlight. He allowed me to be the front person. So I always was on the microphone with the bass performing as an artist, not just, in the background as a bass player. So I learned a lot in a very short period of time of what it meant to be a bass player in a band. And it was a really incredible experience. And then the thing was, okay, we want you to be one of the musical directors. And I feel like in a way that happened because I was always so vocal about what I thought. Sometimes you shouldn't be, but I was just always naturally like, oh yeah, we could do this. Oh, what if we go to this part? Or what if we added this in the music? And so she might say, oh, we need to transition into this song. And I would be like, oh, what if we use this, And I always had these ideas. And it wasn't like I was overbearing or like, hey, we need to do this. It was always like this from a very natural place. So I guess naturally they thought, oh, well, maybe she should be one of the musical directors. And I didn't even know, really, I had no idea what that meant or anything. But it ended up being really, really incredible for me because it also gave me the opportunity to use some of the skills I had been developing on the machines, learning how to use the programs, learning how to use Logic and Pro Tools and Native Instruments and producing and making beats and all these different things. I got to incorporate all of that into the Beyonce gig, which was really cool. And then, of course, she gave me the solo. She gave everybody the solo. Everybody had a solo. Not many artists are going to do that. She was just a sweetheart. She was excited about us being there. She believed in all of us. She really just wanted us to have an opportunity to shine, and she wanted the world and other young girls to see women on stage performing. But my solo was really scary because she told me just to go out on stage with my bass and play by myself. And I was like, what the hell am I gonna do? So I thought about my journey and how I came to the bass and all those bass lines that meant something to me coming up. And I said, hey, can I start off with the Goody Mob? And she was like, what? I played it for her. She was like, yeah, people would know that. And then I started playing other bass lines, the Outcasts, and I Got Five on it and all these different things. And that's how the bass solo happened. And for some reason, I don't know why, because I'm a showman, a lot of it has to do with because I'm a showman, I decided that I was gonna put the bass behind my back and thump. I can't even do it anymore. I don't know how I was even doing that. Put the bass behind my back and thump, and then my grand finale was to lick the bass at the end. So silly. So silly. But it worked, and people really enjoyed it. So it was something that was entertaining on that big stage, and it was memorable, you know, and people remembered that. You're the girl who licked the bass. And my nephew was like, ew, auntie, you licked your bass.
What would you base your success on? Like,
Success is so relative. What does that word mean? Wow, that's a good question. Because I don't think it has anything to do with what I do.
no, that's what I was going to say.
It has everything to do with who I am.
Like you leaving college to do this shows the kind of person that you are.
Crazy.
Yeah.
She said, you guys can't hear her. She said, what is it? What was the exact question?
Like you leaving, like what would you base your success on?
What would I base my success on? And she said, you know, because you leaving college says a lot about what kind of person you are. And I said, I was crazy. You know, I think I have to go back to my mom. When I was a kid, my mom told me I could do and be anything in the world I wanted to be. And I believed her. I believed her. I really did. Like, I really believed her. And what I do know and that I've experienced about the way the world works, it's not always going to be easy. It's oftentimes going to be tough. But what I've learned is that when you set your mind to do a thing, something happens, and something that unexplainable happens. The universe gives you opportunities to really experience that thing, like when you really set your mind to a thing. And it might not be exactly what that thing is, you know, but you'll get super close to it, and you'll be guided on this path. And if you're smart, you'll take the steps and you'll take those opportunities.
How were you guys represented in terms of songwriting credits?
Well, we weren't writing any songs. We were more so the touring band. But we definitely had a very intricate contract. And we were credited with the arrangements we would do. For instance, I think the Beyonce Experience album was released as an instrumental, and it was the band. And we're credited as that. It's on, you know, we all have credit for that. But the song, we don't own the songs. You know, the songwriters still own the songs. I read this book called The Business of Music, Don Passman. I did. That's how I learned a lot about that. That was the only, I didn't go to school for it. I would read and I would do my research and I would look up articles on copyright and publishing and really get an understanding of what publishing is, because it can be really crazy. It's kind of crazy. The whole publishing thing can be really weird, and the splits and the 200% pie versus 100% pie and all of those crazy things. And I learned how to read a contract. And if there's a word in the contract that I don't understand, I'm looking it up, like perpetuity, which means forever. The people you're sitting with, honestly, in this room that go to this school are people who are going to be working in the music business. That's what they're going to be doing. Make sure you guys are developing and building relationships with the people next to you. If you are a singer and you're not, you might be a cool songwriter, be honest with yourself, but you have somebody who's a songwriter and who's really writing some great songs who might not even be interested in being a singer. Hook up with that person. Have them write you a song. Sing one of their songs. Get together in bands. The people who are studying business, make sure you have the relationships with them because they're going to be the people who you need. There's probably some musical directors in this room. Who are you going to hire? If somebody just tells you to put a band together, you're going to hire people you know. You're going to hire your homeboy. Me and this dude been playing drums together we met in school. So you're going to hit him up and say, yo, man, I just got this. Somebody just hired me to be a musical director. I'm going to pay you some money to come on tour. Yes, you're going to hire that guy, So these are you guys are in a really cool place because this is like this little bowl of everybody who's going to be in the industry in your city, in your town. So make sure you're developing these relationships. I think it's really important, yeah.
My name is Divinity Roxx, and I really appreciate you guys for coming out. Thank you so much, BIMM Ireland. Go out there and change the world. I'm not kidding. I hope to see you guys on some stages around the world soon.
If the sky is the limit, let's fly through the limit. My feet is on the ceiling, so of course I'm feeling lifted. My head is in the clouds.